Welcome everybody to another episode of The Magic Hour. I'm your host, Majid Nderi, aka Magic Leb. Please feel free to follow me on my Instagram at Fame Film Agency and hit the subscribe button on my YouTube at Majid Nderi. Today we have Mr. Chetan Singh.
Hello.
How you doing, Chetan?
Good.
Thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime. So you are aka Delhi Boy.
Delhi Boy, yes.
Yeah?
That's right.
Yeah. That's almost like a breakdancer's name.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, they had like B-boy something.
Okay.
Like the B-boys, they have B-boy. You could be B-boy Delhi for all we know, you know?
B-boy Delhi,
you know?
My inspiration was definitely not that. My inspiration was, so this is very naive, right? When I started off, obviously I wanted to have a name that everybody in Australia could easily pronounce. And I heard this comedian at the time, his name was Danny Boy.
Danny Boy?
Danny Boy, have you heard that? That person.
Is he Irish by any chance?
He is, he's Indian background, but I believe he lives in Scotland.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And I've only seen one of his videos.
Mm-hmm.
And he's amazing. And I've seen one of his live shows as well. But I really like that vibe of that name specifically. So I was like, I have to somehow incorporate this into my name. So I was like, how about I just call myself Delhi Boy? Because a lot of my comedy is also cultural, you know,
Yeah.
sort of goes with it as well.
Is that like your alias? Is that your stage name?
It is my stage name.
So when somebody introduces you, they don't introduce you as Chetan Singh, they introduce you as Delhi Boy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Although I have recently started using my original name now because I was just like, this is silly. I don't need to do this.
Well, you know, it's not so silly. I watched and I did a video. I used to have a show which I'm going to do again called Reaction to Comedy.
Yeah.
Where I would watch either a sketch or a scene from a film or a comedian. And when oh God, what's his name? Paul Rubin, the guy that played Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
When he passed away, I did a reaction video on one of his first sets. And he was introduced as Pee Wee Herman. This is the early 80s, before he made it big.
Okay.
All right? And all these people were just like in awe of him because of this character that nobody expected to see that character. Because he is so unlike anybody that you would see.
Okay.
Right? And it wasn't until after he finished his set that the presenter was saying his actual name is Paul Rubin. He's just playing a character named Pee Wee Herman. And that's what made people love him even more. Like he had to do a persona that made him famous, but Pee Wee Herman, before everybody learned his real name.
Okay.
You know, and maybe that's kind of the similarity that's what's going on with you.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess what I've started thinking about it from the angle that if I ever do get popular or a little bit famous, that I want my real name to be famous, not
Of course.
So
And it
I guess,
will be.
Yeah. So I guess it's a bit like that. I'm like, well, I don't need to hide behind this Delhi Boy. If people can't pronounce it, that's a joke sitting right there, right? So why would I want? I think that's a stupid reason to do it. If I had if I had to come up with it like for some creative reason, I would still keep it. But my reason wasn't great, so I was like, I'll go back to my original name. So now I've started slowly.
Well, you were a 2022 runner-up in the Raw Comedy.
Raw Comedy, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so like second place.
Second place in the nationals, yeah.
Yeah. So you ended up going to Melbourne.
I went to Melbourne, yes.
Yeah.
So Melbourne is where I won the state finals here in South Australia, and then that year I think it was the COVID year or whatever. So they didn't have the finals. That 2021 they didn't have the finals. So the finals was actually in 2022, and that's when I went to Melbourne for the finals, and that's where I got runner-up.
That's a very impressive achievement. Though.
It was like a.
You know, I mean, how big was the crowd?
The crowd, I believe, is like 1,800. That sort of 12.
Well, you know,
somewhere 15 to 1,800. That sort of number.
That's still a big number. That's
a huge number.
Is that the biggest crowd you've ever performed for?
Close. So I've opened for a couple of times. So I've opened for some big Indian comedians like Zakir Khan. Some people might have heard about it. He's just recently done a run at the Madison Square Gardens in New York.
Wow.
And he does Hindi. He doesn't even do English.
Really?
Yeah. So it's just Hindi speaking people.
So he's at Madison Square Garden, and Madison Square Garden's filled with Indian people that understand that.
Hindi, people who understand Hindi. So Indians, Pakistanis, or others, sort of those, yeah.
Okay, so it's a very non-white crowd.
Non-white crowd.
Okay,
All
so
non-white, yeah.
Okay, so it would have been the safest place to be at that time.
At that time,
Yeah.
yes.
There ain't gonna be any robberies here today. All right, sweet. That's pretty cool. So how long you been in Australia though?
I have been in Australia 21 years.
Okay, so you're not a stranger here.
I'm not a stranger.
No, and I love the fact that your accent is still strong. Has your accent kind of diminished over the years since you've been here, or is it still as strong as it was when you came?
I think it's a bit it has diminished a little bit. It's gone a little bit less strong. Like what is accent? I guess accent is just a way you speak based on where you grow up, right? So if
Yeah.
when you I grew up in New Delhi, I was speaking a certain way. Then I came here, then I sort of got mixed up.
Yeah.
I don't think I have the same accent, but I wouldn't say it's Australian or Indian or whatever. It's just whatever it comes out, right?
Yeah, no, I totally relate where you come from. I lived in Bahrain for 16 years, and whoever I speak with, I adapt their accent when I speak to
I do
them
that.
in English.
I do exactly
Whenever I get an Indian driver, I say, "Hello, boss. Yes, I want he boss." And I talk to him like that, so he understands exactly what I'm saying, right? When I got a Filipino guy, I say, "Hey, Paul, can you take me in?" I'm just speaking their language, their accent, because it just
Yeah.
makes their job easier. Because like it's very hard. For many of them, it's very hard for them to understand your traditional English language. Like
Yeah.
they have trouble understanding the British.
Yeah.
You know, and because the British got such a thick, strong English
Yeah.
accent, and they don't speak that, they don't pronounce the words in the way the English people do.
Yeah.
So they have trouble picking it up.
You
So-
have a very neutral accent, though. Like I think
I
everybody
do.
would understand.
No,
it.
I do. I purposely did not want to attain the Aussie accent
Yeah.
being here because I really I can imitate them because I've lived here most of my
course,
life,
yeah.
and I don't want to go too American either because I don't know. It is neutral. It's like a combination of Australian, British, and American with the way Lebanese people speak into one. Because I've heard Lebanese people speak English, and it's very, very choco Lebanese. You know,
Yeah.
hey, how you doing, bro?
Yeah,
bro?
yeah,
I don't want to do that either. You know what I mean?
No.
I wanted to stay away from that. I'm not saying I'm not against it. I'm just saying that ain't me. You know,
I don't think people choose their accent anyway. I think it just becomes whatever it becomes, right?
Maybe
Like,
it does. I think you know.
I have
Maybe
never made a
maybe it
conscious-
comes down to personality.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah,
it comes down to how you want to express yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like I love rap music, right? I was 8 years old when I first listened to NWA.
Yeah.
Right. But I would never walk around talking like I was from Brooklyn or I was from LA or anything
Why
like
would
that.
you?
You know,
Unless you wanted to.
No. I would do it if it was part of a skit.
Yeah.
I would do it if I was imitating a character.
Sure.
You know, but you have I met a rapper in Bahrain. I'm gonna say his name, Flipperachi. That's his rap name.
Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah.
I only heard one song. but I
Yeah,
love
no,
it.
no.
Yeah.
Flipperachi. I met him at a DJ Jazzy Jeff concert. I went to go to the DJ Jazzy Jeff, and he was one of the opening acts for DJ Jazzy Jeff. And I met the guy, and I spoke to him and everything like that. And this was before he became known.
Yeah.
Right, and I said to him, "Listen, man, I'm a filmmaker. If you want a video," this is before he had agents, before he had anyone. So I could have gotten him. All right, and he was like, "Yeah, man, what's up, man? You know, I want to." And I said, "Okay, cool. So where are you from?" And goes, "I'm from Hammertown. Hammertown is a city, like a suburb in Bahrain." And I was like, "Why are you talking like you're from Brooklyn?" That's the first thing I asked him.
Okay,
That's the first thing I asked him. All right,
because that was a cool thing.
You know,
yeah.
that's just myself expressing myself and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, okay, fine. But when I hear you talk like that, I'm thinking you're from the States.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, what's your name? And then he told me his real name, Hassan something. I forgot. And I said, you're from Hammertown? Rap me a song about Hammertown. That's what I said to him. All right, rap me a song about that area. I know everything about Compton.
Yep.
I've heard enough about Compton and it came from the right people who actually were from Compton. You're rapping like you're from Compton, but you ain't from Compton. You
Yep.
know, you're rapping like you're from Brooklyn or any other place.
Yeah.
Rap me a place from Bahrain that I want to hear.
Yep.
I think I don't. Maybe he might not agree, but if he is watching, I think I may have led him to that direction.
Interesting.
May.
Yeah.
All right, because he started incorporating Arabic lyrics into his English songs. Which
He
was
does
okay,
now.
you know?
Can I tell you an interesting fact about Flipperachi? I've only heard one song, and the reason I've heard it is he's recently gone really big in India because he featured in one of the biggest Bollywood movies of this year. That movie has made some hundreds of millions of dollars all around the world. And they picked one song of Flipperachi, they put it in there, and he's suddenly become the sensation in India now.
Huge.
Suddenly, like he's huge. Like that, imagine adding 1 billion people to your fan base.
If
through
you can
one
make
song.
it in India, you can make it anywhere.
That's like,
You know?
that's an instant fame, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So like, yeah, I mean, that's amazing. I think India is a market that we should all try to tap into.
Yeah.
You know? You know, I mean, that's where the people are.
Man, you
know?
look very Indian, to be honest.
Really?
You fit right in.
Okay. All right. No, I won't do this thing, but yeah, okay.
Don't do that. That'll anger them.
But the thing is, hit the part. Like I told you, even in Bahrain, when I speak to Indian people and they do this, I can't help it. I do it back. I said, yes, boss. You know, I just do it.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're fine with it. They actually smile and they're happy. It's like, you know, I'm adapting their behavior, mannerisms, the culture.
Most people find it funny, right? Because a lot of people don't even like it's a very hidden. A lot of people don't even do it, but so there's certain parts of India where they do it, but other parts don't do it. But people find it funny anyway because everybody, whenever it's a cultural thing, as Russell Peters once said, anytime somebody's making fun of your culture, you are always looking at it from the angle that, oh, I don't do this. He's talking about other people.
Yeah,
right. Like,
yeah.
so people find it funny.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Flight of the Conchords?
Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah, it's a TV show. It was a TV show. It went for 2 seasons on HBO. 2 New Zealand musicians and comics. Yeah. They write songs. They're hilarious. And there was an episode where there was an Indian fruit vendor who was being racist to them because he thought they were from Australia. Right? But so he was calling you damn New Zealanders, you with your shrimps and your barbies and all that kind of stuff. I can't stand you people. And he was like, nah, man, that's Australia. He goes, so I've been making fun of New Zealanders, but I'm really angry at Australians? And he goes, yeah, well, what's the difference? He goes, Australians are like, where's the car? And we're more like, where's the car? So,
I'm surprised the fruit vendor was angry at the Aussies. Why does he even know?
And that fruit vendor was played by Aziz Ansari. Yeah. And no, it was a very popular show. It only went for 2 seasons because the actors they had to write songs for every episode, and it got exhausting.
Of course. Yeah.
So they stopped it at that point. But it was a hysterical show. Flight of the Conchords, you should watch it. They are a musician group. They're 2 musicians, and their comedy are their songs.
Oh, still around?
Oh, they're still around. They did a recent show like less than a year ago, and it's massive and it's really good.
Oh, have a look.
Okay, now. You work at the University of Adelaide, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay. And does working at the university, like when you encounter students and staff or whatever, does that help you come up with some material for your gig?
Not specifically. I work in the professional area, so I work in IT. So I don't really come across students a whole lot, or even lecturers. So it's just pretty much any other IT office.
Everyone says I should get into IT. Because like everyone's saying get into IT because I mean I'm not really good with computers, but everyone's saying get into IT.
You know, these days, whether or not you like it, everybody is in IT.
Yeah.
Like everything is IT, right? You're editing, whatever. We are all basically in IT somehow, one way or the other. But yeah, obviously, keeping yourself up to speed with technology is very important these days.
Yeah, no, it is. Like my God, if you go a year without it, almost everything you know becomes obsolete.
Exactly.
Now.
But yeah, I don't pick up any material. I don't do a lot of work stuff, like corporate stuff yet. I would like to. Like I would love to do some corporate gigs where I'm talking about IT stuff. I've done it a couple of times for a couple of recruitment agencies.
Sweet.
But most of the material is, as I said, cultural, because that's how you start off.
Yeah. Right? So when you do your comedy, what is your main topic of focus?
Yeah. So I guess when I started off, the way I started was that I did this little gig at my workplace back then. This wasn't the university. This was another workplace that I used to work before this. And it was like a cultural day. And everybody was talking about, so there's some people from Colombia talking about their country. And I hadn't prepared anything. So I just got up and talked about how the West perceives India. And I just did a little funny, I wouldn't call it stand-up. I just said some funny things and people laughed and I enjoyed that. So that's how I got into comedy. So given that's the way I got into it, I thought that is the way to be funny is if I talk about my culture. And so since that day, that was like 2015, man, my first gig was in like 28. It took me 3 years to actually get on stage. So since that day, I've only been talking about mostly cultural stuff. And there's so much to talk about still, right? There's always something happening or something new happens. There's all these marches recently. It's good. So, there's all that stuff to talk about. But off late, I'm starting to think about, maybe it's time to also start talking about other things that I care about. Because, after it's been 5-6 years doing these topics. So now I've started also thinking about topics I really care about, things like, I don't know, like mental health or anything that I care about, anything that is happening in my life, family life, that kind of stuff. So I've started getting into that a bit more now.
Okay, that's good. Do you try to steer clear on current affairs and politics? Not
really. Not. In fact, current affairs sometimes is the thing that I prefer to address because it's sort of one of the things that I care about. Because as I said, those migration marches that happened recently, I made a lot of reels and jokes on it. I even got like threats on it. This is the first time I ever got threats. The first time I ever received threats on Instagram. There was a guy who commented on one of my videos, said this guy needs to be tied to a tree and beaten up. And man, that
And it was a white guy, no doubt.
I don't know. I didn't check. It was Instagram. So
Wow.
I just disable comments.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Because I've got a daughter, and I don't want to be.
No, of course.
Yeah.
No. That's terrible.
Never had that before. So.
And this is not considered. Isn't that a hate speech? Isn't that a hate thing? Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what they're trying to take away from everybody right now?
Yeah.
With this new law.
Yeah.
But it's only hate speech law if you talk about one particular topic. Anything else could be. You can say you hate anything you want.
Yeah.
But if you say you hate or criticize anything about this particular region, and I think do you know what I'm talking about or not?
Sort of. I think I've got an idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can always reveal it.
I'm going to reveal it. Right? But, ever since the shooting, which I believe was a false flag attack, Israel has capitalized on Australia from that incident in which they made Australia push a law that you cannot criticize Israel. You can't say any hate speech about Israel.
Okay.
Saying anything critical of them can be potentially 7 to 14 years in prison.
Really? And that's been passed?
So they say.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's fully passed. Yeah, maybe it has. I'm not sure. But the thing is, how are you going to arrest 10 million people?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not going to fly.
No.
Right? But the ridiculous notion of this is like they're coming out saying, you can make fun of anybody. Just don't make fun of me. Like if you were that kid in school, I had a teacher named Mr. B, Mr. Belotus, our 7th grade teacher. Yeah. And he was famous for picking on kids. Famous. Like in the film,
like bullying or
he doesn't bully, but he will single you out if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Oh,
he doesn't bully you for no reason. He does it for a reason. That was part of his motivational thing. And everybody was scared. All right, but the one that didn't get picked on, they went to Mr. B and goes, "Why don't you pick on me?" They want to be included. They want to be part of it. Awesome. You know what I mean? What? They wanted to be part of it because at the end, Mr. B would have a rapport on the ones that he picked on, and they have like that connection. And the other kids were missing on that because the other kids were very goody two shoes. They were doing their work and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And Mr. B had a soft spot for them, but he was just famous for saying "Hey" and all that kind of stuff. That's just the way he was. And he'd make fun of you. But that's just the way, that was his character. And we loved him. Yeah. We loved him for that.
There are people like that.
All right? And so what's happening here is like, you can make fun of everybody. Just don't make fun of me. I mean, how childish is that if you think about it? You know, it's like a 2-year-old throwing a fit. Yeah. You know, and that's what's going on here. Yeah. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, and like, look, if you're going to make fun of somebody, then you can make fun of everybody.
Yeah, it has to be level.
It has to be everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, you have people who from different cultures or different sexual orientation, and they say, "I don't want to be treated differently." You've got disabled people that say, "I don't want to be treated differently."
Yeah,
you know, you can even make fun of me. It's fine. I want to be part of this. You know? And Israel's the only one that says nope. And I was like, "Nah, you know what? You're just asking us, just begging."
I think you're actually inviting. If you didn't say anything, maybe people would have sort of toned down. It's like but now you're inviting it. It's like telling a little baby, "Oh, don't press that button. Don't press that button."
And they're gonna push the freaking button. Exactly.
Times, yeah.
And that's what's going on today with these people. And I think it's just now. You are. I saw a small clip. I was doing my research on you, and there was you did a little improv on about Christmas. Christmas is.
Oh, that was that was part of the. Well, there's a gig that happens all around Australia, Comedy Untamed, and that they have a section where it's like a comedy game you play. I think it's called Comedy Lines or something.
Okay.
Where you get a line and then you have to say funny things about it.
So,
so there was a couple around Christmas.
And this was about Christmas, and you were very good at improv. You had to come up with it on the spot, you know.
Yeah. So it's like it's improvised. This is a very common game comedy game that plays. So for example, if I said to you, "Sex with me is like onions," and you have to say the next line, and everybody will just come up and say one line.
Fine.
You know, that sort of stuff.
Because you make me cry every time I orgasm, something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's
okay. All right. Cool. I like that.
That was good.
Oh, thank you. No.
That was actually good. Yeah, you'll be good at that game.
Oh well, I hope to be because I've done a lot of sketch comedy.
Yeah.
In Bahrain, the stand-up comedy wasn't as big. It's probably bigger now, but when I was doing it, it wasn't near as big as it could have been.
Yeah.
And they would have like a comedy, stand-up comedy for maybe 6-7 weeks of the whole year, and then it would stop for like months, you know? And I was like, you know what, I can't sit around waiting for the next one to come out, so I started doing sketch comedy.
Yep.
And, you know, you got to be creative, you got to be funny, you got to write all this stuff down, and I film it professionally, you know, I don't want to film it like this with the phone. And
So why would it stop? Because it gets too hot, or
no. It's got nothing to do with the weather. It's just like it's like it hasn't found its voice yet, and it took a while for them to finally come up with Bahrain comedy, and then there was one called Stand Up Society. So they started to form clubs and groups, and they invited everybody, especially Americans, because the Navy base there is huge. And when Americans go there and they find out that there's a comedy thing, some of them want to be comedians, so they join the club. And they go to the venues when they're invited to, and they open mic and all that kind of stuff. So now it's a growing thing.
It's a growing thing.
But when I was there, it was like it was still trying to find its way. And I had a hunger for comedy, because after I did my first performance, I just wanted to do more and more and more, and the opportunities wasn't as much as say here, for example. So I turned to sketch comedy, and because I had a lot of connections in the Navy base, all right, I had a lot of American actors, and that was fun. And many of them were Black American actors, which was even more fun. I had a guy named who goes by the name Trippy. That's his certain nickname, Trippy. And this guy was flamboyant. He was a natural. It's like he never acted before, but you see him, he was like my personal Chris Tucker. Wow. You know, like he was great. And I had him in my sketches, and he was hilarious. And when, the first sketch I wrote, it was supposed to be originally entitled Naming the Team. But for clickbait, I renamed it I Swear I'm Not a Racist. You know, for clickbait. Because I wanted even black people to be like, let me be the judge of that. And it was all about,
where do you put those sketches? Is it on YouTube? Or?
Yeah, they're on my YouTube, they're on my Instagram. They used to be on my LinkedIn, but then I got banned permanently from LinkedIn, and so my 25-year profile has gone.
What?
No, you know why it went?
Yeah,
I said Free Palestine way too many times.
Okay, on LinkedIn.
So I got kicked out. And whatever. If I'm not destined for that kind of career, then I don't want it anyway. So, but anyway, now I'm trying to do the same thing here. So, have you ever done sketch comedy?
I have. Have I done sketch comedy? I think I've just done a couple of things on Instagram, like how you create those reels, like myself.
Like just is it
recording
like
myself.
Something that you're winging right then and there?
Yeah.
So it's like a post, media post, more than it is something that has been written and thought of and executed.
No. So like less than 1 minute, and it's it's like a little thought I came up with. Like there was one I did where I say that if I don't even say anything. It's all in text. I'm just acting on it. Like if I ever become rich, I won't tell anyone, but there will be signs. And then I have this cup of tea sitting there with like this much tea left in there, sitting in the sink. Just trying to say I feel rich, because I never let go of my tea. Right? I finished the last drop.
That's clever. I like that. I like that. Well, if you're ever interested in sketches, man,
absolutely.
I'm always. I got a couple written, but some of my sketches are incredibly controversial, hilarious. No, not politically controversial.
Okay.
No, not politically controversial. Controversial in race.
Yeah, man. So long as I'm not gonna get beaten up,
you're not gonna get beaten up, and no words are used. No offensive words are used. Like the N-word, for example, it's not used. Right? It plays around it without having to say it.
Without saying it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. So
it's the golden rule of comedy.
Yeah, and I'm looking for brave people to do that. Tell me about the Comics Lounge.
The Comics Lounge. What do you want to know about it?
What was your experience like?
Do you mean the Comedy Lounge or the Comics Lounge?
I got here the Comics Lounge. Is there a difference?
So Comedy Lounge is in Perth, Comics Lounge is in
Melbourne.
Melbourne. Yeah.
Yes, that's the one I'm talking about.
Okay, so I have performed there a couple of times. I haven't been able to break into their lineup shows. So the 2 times I've performed there, one was opening for this guy Zakir Khan that I spoke about before. That was in Hindi, and then recently Nima Naz, who's a Canadian comedian. You might have heard of Nima Naz. He's pretty popular. He's got 500,000 following now. He's from Canada.
Wow.
And he's a friend basically. He's performed with us in Melbourne Comedy Festival, Adelaide Fringe. He's sort of done a lot of our multicultural comedy gigs as well. And he's a top bloke. and he gave me the opportunity to open for him in Melbourne at the Comics Lounge, and that was my opportunity to meet the guys as well.
Wow.
But for some reason, every time I meet the people there, they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll have you there, man. Send us some videos, send us some references," and I do that, and I email them, and then this radio silence.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on. If you're watching Comics Lounge, people, please have me in one of your gigs. I'm ready.
And I'll be happy to film it. Okay. No, that's but that is kind of expected though. I mean, considering their status.
Yeah, there's too many comedians,
and they've got so many things going on.
And I live here. That's an obvious
Adelaide, man. It's Adelaide. It's Adelaide. If we were in the USA, Adelaide is Utah.
Yeah.
Okay, where all the Mormons are, the most boring place in all of Australia.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard.
No, but just like not being in Melbourne is a disadvantage for any comedian because Melbourne is the hub of Australian comedy, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Melbourne's the place to be if you want to try to make it.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Melbourne or maybe Sydney, maybe the second best.
Yeah,
definitely not Adelaide. Right?
And Perth is just like a bigger version of Adelaide. I keep hearing that.
Perth has definitely got a better comedy scene, mainly because of Johnny and Johnny is the owner of Comedy Lounge, and he's a great guy. Shout out to Johnny. He's had me on his gigs a few times now. Recently, there's a comedy competition that was happening, and I was. I've just gone through the heats. I'll be in the semi-finals of that, and Johnny runs that gig like. It's probably one of the best run gigs in Perth at the moment, and like he pays really well as well, and it's just a great setup. So I think he's single-handedly sort of elevating the Perth comedy scene through Comedy Lounge.
Pays very well.
If you're good.
No. Yeah, if you're good. If you suck, you probably have to end up mopping the floors after the show's done. One of my favorite comedians, my favorite one-liner comedian named Mitch Hedberg. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
No.
And he was working at a club, and the club was like had a rule that the comedians had to clean. The one that does the worst had to clean the club.
Oh, on the night.
Yeah, on the night. Yeah. And he was like, so do me a favor and don't drop anything. Just hold on to it till you get to the trash bag and stuff like that. The way his demeanor was just so really great.
Amazing.
Do you have favorite comedians?
Favorite comedians, yeah, of course. Like people I watch a lot, like in my language, be Zakir Khan, and
I got to write that down. Zakir,
Zakir.
Okay, and Khan. I know how to spell Khan.
So I prefer storytelling over one-liners personally as my comedics.
Yeah.
Not the things that I do, but the things that I watch. Basically, people I like to watch. So I prefer like people who've got a bit of a story, and if it's real or it's based on real stuff, that I always enjoy that. Dave Chappelle, I obviously like Dave Chappelle, one of the best in business. Michael McIntyre, even though he tells stories in a different sort of way.
He's very flamboyant.
He's very flamboyant. I love I can never do it. I would never try to mimic his style, but what he does with comedy is amazing. And obviously Russell Peters, because I grew up watching him, right? Russell
Peters is terrific.
Trevor Noah, because the kind of things he talks about.
And the recent comment he made that he's getting sued now. Have you heard about that?
No, I haven't.
He hosted the Grammys.
Okay.
And he made a joke about Trump and Epstein files being on the Epstein Island.
Yeah.
And now Trump wants to sue him for that joke.
Yeah, of course he does. Yeah.
He wants to. He's like, again. I think Trump is like a big fat Israel. He's like a 2-year-old that throws a fit when he doesn't get his way.
Yeah. Hopefully not long to go for Trump.
No. Well, we got 3 more years. Months. But you know what? I don't want him to die, because if he died, then Vance is going to take over, and that's not going to be better.
Oh,
So let him go all the way. Did you hear how he tried to sue South Park?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, because the first episode of South Park in the latest season, they made fun of how small Trump's thing is.
Well, that's asking for it.
And Trump got so angry that he wanted to sue South Park. And he wanted to sue them for what, $200 and something million. And South Park said to their lawyers, tell him we'll pay him that money. But he has to appear in court and show us. All right? So that we're not incorrect. And then he withdrew the lawsuit. How genius is that?
Whoa.
You don't fuck with South Park. You know what I mean? South Park. Look, South Park.
Especially with that size.
Yeah,
Don't fuck
look,
with them
South
with
Park
that
has been
size.
doing what they've been doing since 1998.
Yeah.
All right, and do not stop them. They have earned the right to be unsuable because they are that bloody funny.
Yeah.
They're the most creative cartoon ever. And they should not be fucked with. You know what? Getting made fun of by the people of South Park is a badge of honor.
Yeah.
It is a badge of honor. I mean, and there are some people that got upset. Tom Cruise got upset. You know, the whole in the closet episode. And even Isaac Hayes, who was one of the voices, got upset because they made fun of a religion that he's part of. And it was just like, come on, man. If you could be part of making fun of, then you should be able to be made fun of back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't dish it if you can't take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so you have to work both ways.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's get into some interesting questions here. If you could do your comedy for any audience in history, which time period would you choose?
Oh, in the history, I would love to. This is probably controversial.
I love it.
But I would love to perform to the Britishers pre-1947 India when they were ruling, and see if they had a sense of humor back then.
That is a good one.
Yeah,
I like that.
You know why? Like one of the things. Obviously, it was a sad time.
Gandhi died in 45 or 44? 44. Yeah. And this is 47.
47 when India got independence.
Yeah.
But and Britishers were there for good 200, 300 years.
Yeah. Okay.
It'd be good to just be in that. Not even doing comedy. Just be. I'm always amazed with that era because you hear a lot about that. You see things that have come out of that, right? Like a lot of Indian food was born out of that as well. The one that got popular across the world, like butter chicken and all that, is born out of that era, right? Wow. I don't term it Indian food, but the world does. Yeah. So we have to play along with it. So I would just love to be in that era
but in front of a bunch of white audience
in that era. Maybe that'll be my last day. Because probably could die after that.
Maybe somebody will snipe you out.
Yeah. Because the kind of jokes I'll make there, they probably won't be. Because I do when I started off, I had a couple of jokes about that era. And obviously, and I would have poms in the crowd, and they would take it on the chin, and they would laugh the loudest, right? They're very nice people, right? And the Britishers have the best sense of humor, I feel, amongst all the people in the world. Britishers, they can take a lot because they have to take a lot because of what they've done, because of what their ancestors have done. They have to take jokes now. Yeah, imagine that. Right?
So, do you think if Gandhi traded fasting for comedy, maybe he would have gotten the independence sooner?
Fasting for comedy.
You should know something about fasting. You did a 3-day water fast.
I did. I'm fasting right now, actually. Okay. I'm doing another 3-day one starting today. Okay. So I'm drinking black coffee and water. Fasting is... Do you want me to talk about fasting or Gandhi?
No. Let's get to the hypothetical question. If Gandhi traded his fasting for comedy, if he had the ability, and I think Gandhi would have... I think he was, in many ways, a very funny figure.
Funny figure, okay.
Not in terms of his appearance. I think he's highly intelligent.
Very intelligent.
And he sees the world in ways that many of us cannot. And I'm sure he can poke fun of those things. And I think he's got the.
I think he would have had that in him. Obviously, he was in an era where he probably didn't get to realize any of that, but he obviously would have been an intelligent person. And writing jokes takes intelligence. If you're an intelligent person, you can probably write jokes, right? Yeah. So to be funny is different to writing jokes, right? You can be the least funniest person amongst your friends, but you can still write good jokes. Yeah, if you're an intelligent person. So I think he would have definitely made a good comedian. Whether or not that would have helped the War of Independence, I don't know. Probably, I don't know.
Okay, that was just my hypothetical thing. Yeah. But I'd like to hear your answer on this one. Which historical figure do you think would have made a great comedian?
Which historical figure would have made a great comedian? Man, I'm trying to think. I would have. I'm not a big history person. But I think, again, this is controversial. I think Hitler would have been a funny guy, right? Like, if it wasn't, because he was obviously
in
the head.
No. Look. He had a vision.
Yeah.
And if he turned that into something else, I think he would have been great. They keep censoring what he said in Berlin. How do we know that wasn't a comedy set? You can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had all those people going on.
yeah.
You know, like I answered the question about which time period in history would I like to do comedy for, and it was I wanted to do right after Hitler's speech. I wanted to follow Hitler and do a comedy set.
Not
right
open
after
for him, but do it after.
No, right after him.
Okay.
Because I thought that might be a good way. Because if I can get that comedy, if I can get those people to laugh, then I can make it.
They can get anyone to laugh. Yeah,
exactly. Right.
But I just feel like to be a comedian, obviously there has to be something wrong with you, right? You have to be fucked in the head to choose
with
this
many
as a
of them,
profession.
yes. With many,
a lot of them.
Yeah, many great comedians are not normal or did not have the traditional upbringing. Many of them.
Something has to go wrong in your life to pick this profession.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or even just deciding to go on stage and try making people laugh is the hardest thing you will ever do in your life, right? It's the hardest thing when you go on stage. Not in amongst your group of friends. That's easy, right? They have context. They understand you. You've already tested them. You know they like you. They find you funny. To go in front of strangers and be this cocky, I'm gonna make you laugh tonight. This is how confident I am. I'm on stage in front with a mic. If you don't laugh, I'm gonna look stupid.
Yeah.
But I'm still attempt to do it.
Yeah.
That does take courage, but also takes a certain amount of stupidity, I feel.
Oh, well, you know, the reason why I finally broke into the comedy is because I was fed up.
Yeah.
I was fed up with how my life was going and where it was going. And I was at the lowest point in my life. And I said, you know what? If I get booed off, that's the least of my worries right now. I could not give a shit. And I gave it my all, and it was the best I ever did. Yeah, so then I haven't looked back. I found it very therapeutical. Yeah, very therapeutic.
Absolutely.
Not putical. Yeah. I just came up with a word that doesn't exist. Okay. Now, you're stranded in a deserted island. You can only have one comedy special album, one movie, and one musical artist, either artist or band. Their whole discography. What would you be choosing?
So I can have one comedy special.
Yeah.
Okay, only one comedy special. It'll have to be one of either Zakir Khan's or Dave Chappelle's. I don't even care which one because I can watch all of them.
Little Dave, yeah.
Yeah. Like I can watch any of them any number of times.
Yeah.
Like I've seen a lot of their specials like hundreds of times. Sometimes I'm just sitting there at night and I can't sleep. I just play a special and I just watch it again. So it could be any of those. Movies, I'm a very Indian at heart person. I'm only exclusively into Bollywood movies. So,
fine.
Yeah. So if I say a name, it'll probably not make sense to you.
It's okay. I'll put it into the archives.
There's an old classic from the 70s called Sholay. 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 Which I believe is inspired by a Hollywood movie as well. I have to look. I used to remember and I've forgotten. I think it's called The Invincibles or something. I can't remember the name of the Hollywood movie that's inspired by. But that's like a classic. Any Indian from my era, born in the 80s or the 90s, if you ask them, they've seen that movie 1,000 times.
Okay.
And Hindi-speaking Indians. So I think that movie I can watch any number of times. What was the third thing?
Music, artist, or band.
Music, artist, or band. Artist. Man, when I was growing up, I don't think I got to see Michael Jackson, hear Michael Jackson enough. Because again, I was a Bollywood fan. I didn't hear his songs a lot, or I was not allowed to play them because most of my family was into Hindi music. So Michael Jackson, maybe.
Good. That's a good choice.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson came here in September of 1996. Yeah. I was there. He came to Adelaide. Okay. I went to go see him. I was 17.
Yeah.
Wow. And we didn't have phones in 1996, like iPhones and shit like that.
Yeah, of course not.
And we had to take cameras. And they wouldn't even allow cameras in, so I had to put my camera in my crotch. All right? Just so I could walk in with it.
Why not in a
No, they wouldn't let you in. It has cameras, to be crotch. Okay. All right? It was too big to put up my ass, so I put my arm in my crotch. All right? And I was so excited, Chetan, when I saw him, I was like, and I had a 48 length film, so I could take 48 pictures, and I took all 48 pictures on this first track. I was like, damn, I'm out of film, and I had to watch the entire 2 hours without taking any more shots. And I was like, man, if I just saved my time, I could have taken a picture when he performed Billie Jean, I could have taken a picture when he performed Thriller, but I did it all in the first track, and I was just so excited to see him. I was like, I was snapping away.
Have you still got those pictures?
Yeah, but they're crap. They're have them out of focus. It wasn't a great camera.
Yeah,
it was like one of those Fuji cameras that you buy from vending machine. But just slightly better.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I got the pictures. I got some pictures, but these are authentic pictures that prove that I was there.
Man, I don't know. They'll probably sell for a lot now.
Oh no! It was really, really bad. The image is
Doesn't
really,
matter,
really bad. But yeah,
it's art now. I think it's not. Those are no longer photos. They are art.
It can be. Didn't some artist sell a nothing? Did you hear this?
Yeah.
He sold nothing.
Yeah.
For like 100 grand or whatever it was. And some idiot bought air, bought a space of nothing.
Yeah. I don't know what the exact name for it, but you know that the crypto equivalent of art. There is a name for it. I can't remember the name. It's not coming to me anymore.
So I might
probably sell it there. Yeah.
I might have pictures that are so horrible in my day that they could be popular today.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Just when
give it a go. Just put it up for $1 million. See if somebody buys it.
Yeah.
Then mark it down by 10% and see
I might actually give that a shot. The world is just that stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Now, Chetan, we have reached what I like to call the existential part of the show.
I love it.
Yeah?
I love existential.
Yeah. I had a feeling that you would. I do this with all of my guests, but I don't know. But you being Indian, it just feels more important now. It feels more valid. Okay. Do you feel more pressure to represent your culture accurately, or to be subvert or do you subvert it for laughs?
That's a great question, man. Thanks for asking that. I think when I started off, I was doing anything for a laugh, right? So I would take whatever side I wanted, just so long as I knew that these people are gonna like it. You know that this thing that people do.
The whole Indian
thing. Yeah. I have never done that on stage, by the way. That's an easy laugh.
Yeah, but if you did it, you get a laugh immediately.
I never did that. I was very conscious that I did not want to represent that.
That's very stereotypical.
Very stereotypical, right? Like, and I can't believe that some big comedians are still using it, and I just find it like, just lose it now, right? But it's a classic. So
but Russell Peters done it a few times.
Russell Peters done it, and it's a classic, right? It's a classic. So maybe the classics will never go away. So in my mind, I was even though initially I was doing it, I was still conscious of that. But now I have more, so I've become very, very conscious that I don't end a joke in a way where I am misrepresenting my own culture, right? Because I feel like I owe it. If I have whatever in my own little way, I have made it in Australia as a comedian. I'm making a little bit of money from it or whatever it is. I don't want to be the person who misrepresents a whole country of 1 billion people, right? I think I owe it to them.
Yeah.
As an Indian.
Well, that kind of this way you kind of answered my second question, but which I'm going to ask. But maybe you can elaborate more. Do you ever feel you're too Indian for some rooms and not Indian enough for others?
Yeah. That's every ethnic person's issue, right? Like, because you go to a room. To give you an example, if I go and perform at a foodie club, I think I'll be too Indian there. I'll probably be too Indian for them. But having said that, even if that is the case, most places I have an advantage.
Yeah.
Like, because most of the time, I think the person who struggles in comedy today, these days, is the straight white man. Because they have been around for the longest. Everybody's seen enough of them. We are the exotic creatures, right? Like when I walk into a room, imagine there's 5 white guys in a lineup of like a footy club, and suddenly I walk up and I start talking about Pakistan or whatever. Those people lose their shit.
Yeah, they do.
Right? Even though I'm feeling that I'm too Indian for this.
Do you know why?
Yeah.
Because many of them are racist.
Yeah, I know. The reasons might be different. Some of them are racist. Some of them are so ignorant that they don't give a fuck. They're just laughing at whatever you're doing. They're just finding it funny to look at me, right?
Yeah.
Like, what is this brown person doing in a footy club? Like, what? That's funny.
You know,
right?
The other day I was, I've got the traditional Bahraini clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I did it for one of my sketches. I did a parody of Marvel, and I was playing there's Captain America. I was what was my name? Major Arabia. So I was representing all of the Arab world. So I wore that as my costume, my superhero costume. It was a funny skit. All right. And I was thinking, you know what? I've got this costume. I want to one day go to the Rhino or wherever and wear that. And I want to be known. I want to be addressed as Faisal, the stereotypical Arab. Because if I just go there with that stereotypical clothing and speak in that accent, I know just from that alone, before I even tell a joke, I'll get
Just
laughs.
call yourself Habibi. I think
No,
in
we've
one
got
word.
Habib. We've already got Habib. I don't want to change. I don't want to use that. So,
Okay. So, okay, you want to go. Okay.
I want to be something.
You're looking
like,
for something unique. Okay.
Yeah, something different.
Yeah.
You know, so Faisal, because everyone's using Ahmad or Abdullah or Muhammad. I don't want to use that. So Faisal.
Oh, you want something? Yeah.
Faisal is an Arab name.
Yeah.
All right. There's King Faisal. Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
And stereotypical Arab, I think, would be just a nice way of doing it.
Just to make it clear.
Yeah,
for people who don't get
I
it.
mean, I can really see what my opening joke would be. I'll go up and go, take my wives, take them. Just start with that and then work your way up with that. I mean, I think that would work.
Yeah.
Especially for a white audience.
They'll definitely get a laugh.
So I might want to do that one day. Okay, getting back to it. Do you think humor is a coping mechanism, a weapon, or a spiritual practice?
A bit of all of those things.
Yeah.
Right? It's definitely a spiritual experience. Like, I'll tell you this, like, there have been days where I've actually felt a little bit low or like a little bit anxious about life or things that are going on. I go on stage and forget all about it. When you're on stage, you are meditating because you're not thinking about anything else but that. Like, what is meditation? I guess is about concentrating on one thing and not anything else, right? Concentrating on whether it's your breath or whatever, a point you're looking at a point, trying to concentrate on a particular place in whatever they call it, the third eye or whatever. I think comedy is exactly that. You just do. It's like when you play sport. I think that's a form of meditation as well. So I feel it's definitely a spiritual experience. Definitely a weapon because you can you can make an impact. You can make a statement and everybody will come for you. People will start suing you. That means you are making an impact. You're saying certain things that are brushing people the wrong way or in some ways the right way. Because that's,
I believe Dave
supposed to
Chappelle
be the
did
way.
that in his latest special, Unstoppable.
Yeah.
The weapon he used was, if I say the following words, don't listen to anything I have to say, and the following words were,
I stand with Israel. Thank you very much and good night.
Yes,
drop.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, he does say that. Yeah.
And I think that was a weapon, definitely. One weapon of a
Him
statement.
saying that, because especially if you have a reach, then you are definitely a weapon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the final question for the existential part, I got so many, but I'll make this one the final. When you're on stage, are you chasing laughter, validation, or relief?
I think when I started off, I was definitely chasing laughter because that's, I mean, when you start off, you are definitely thinking about because you want to be the best performing person in every room, right? You want to make an impact, laughter wise. Otherwise, you feel like you've bombed, right? But now I've started to feel like because I do 150-minute, 1 hour shows as well, like my solos. And when I'm doing them, sometimes I just go, I'm just gonna say what I want to say. And I'm not gonna worry about the structure. I'm just going to say things. And when I do that, I can tell the people who are watching it, even though they're not laughing as much because it's not as tight, they're hooked. They want to listen to me. In fact, the last solo that I did, 4 people stayed after the show, and they asked me, how can we give you a good review on the Fringe website? This is in Perth, by the way, Perth Fringe. And they were like, how can we give you a good review? Because we want to, because we really enjoyed it. And that night I wasn't doing all my structured jokes. I wasn't trying to get the laughs. I was just saying a lot of things that I just wanted to say. So I feel like now I'm getting to a point where I'm going to concentrate. I think the laughs will come. Slowly I learn to say things in a way where I can get the laughs from the message that I want to convey.
Yeah.
I think I can get there.
Wow.
At some point, but I want to start saying things that I want to talk about.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Are you by any chance in this year's Fringe?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
You got your own show?
Yeah.
What's it called?
I've got a few lineup shows and one of my own shows. 7-Eleven Attack.
Oh, I'm laughing already. Okay.
Yeah.
7-Eleven Attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about migration, as you can imagine.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. And when is your show on? What dates?
I've got so many I've registered so many shows. I've actually forgotten exact dates.
Okay. Do you have a poster or a picture?
But it's
flyer?
on the I'll send you
Okay,
a
it's going to be right here, right now, as we speak for you.
But
to
it's
see
all through the Fringes on different days. So I've got 6 or 7 shows spread around Fringe.
You got to go catch those shows. I'm gonna want to be there. I want to see what you got. And I've actually seen what you got. Weren't you part of the hosting of the Gong Show?
I did the Gong Show once,
Yeah. I think I performed on the night that you were there. You had a Colombian guy there, or I don't know if it was Colombian, but it was a South American comedian that was there.
Okay.
And I didn't know the rules, but I didn't realize until after my first time I did it that I actually finished my set. They didn't hold the plates. You know, they were holding a plate.
So if they don't hold the plates up, then we just play you off at 3 minutes.
But the thing is, I actually finished my set, and I didn't realize if I finished the set that I'm a finalist to actually win.
And then you left.
Right? But I don't think I meant, because the second time I went, I got booed off after 30 seconds.
Yeah,
you know,
Gong is a different skill.
Yeah. But because I wanted to try something different, because I did well in that other time, I didn't want to do the same jokes.
Now Gong, you're trying to win.
Yeah. You know, I was just there for the fun. I was just, I was a virgin gonger. You know. Okay, Chetan. I have a game. I like to play this game with all my guests. It's called Wrong Answers Only.
Play.
Okay, and don't worry, I'm not going to throw a pie in your face like they do. I don't know why they do that. You know, it's like if you don't get it, you get a pie thrown in your face. So I'm going to, basic rules. I'll ask you a question. You give me the most incorrect answer.
Yeah.
This is a good. I think this is catnip for comedians. A good way to improv. Okay, here we go.
Okay, I'm not an improv artist, so
But
don't judge me.
Let's test you. What was Mahatma Gandhi most famous for?
Comedy.
Okay, all right. Which actor played Ace Ventura?
Shah Rukh Khan. Nobody knows who that is.
I've heard of that name. Which movie won Best Picture in last year's Oscars?
It was one of my movies, 7-Eleven Attack.
Okay, yes.
A movie yet to be made, but still won the Oscars. Yeah.
Okay. Who's the greatest female vocalist?
Greatest female vocalist is my wife. Yeah.
Okay. Is it because of the
That's probably not even funny because she's a great singer.
Oh, okay. I think so. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're failing.
Probably not the greatest though.
Okay.
Yet.
All right. What is Whitney Houston's most iconic song?
As Long As You Love Me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me why. I can ask. All right. No, that's good. That's good. All right, fine. That's it. That's the end of that one. I didn't go too controversial like I did with one particular guest, Ben Petch. I gave him a question and he just couldn't answer it. And it was funny, but he couldn't answer it. Let's see how well you do. How does one catch an STD?
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay, that's your answer. Watching The View or The Kardashians.
Watching The Kardashians.
All right.
I thought it was a joke I was supposed to ask you.
Oh, no. That was just another wrong answers only.
Catch a STD.
Okay, that's
on
fine.
The phone?
Now, we've reached the conclusion where I'm going to ask you a series of 10 questions. These 10 questions were made famous by actor and American writer named James Lipton, who used to have a show called Inside the Actor's Studio. And his inspiration was a French journalist named Bernard Pivot. I like to mention these people's names because I don't want them to go vanishing in history or in time. So I like to continue bringing them up. First
you're going to ask me 10 questions?
A series of 10 questions. Short answers.
Short answers.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have to give, is this like a quiz?
No. The quiz is over. The quiz is over. This is honesty now.
Right, okay.
This is honesty, truth, fact.
That's my comfort zone.
Okay? Yeah. What is your favorite word?
My favorite word? Man, I've never thought about people think about their favorite word? It's probably not my favorite word, but a word I learned and I want to use a lot. Albeit. You know what the word albeit?
Albeit?
Yeah. It's like, I think, have you heard of the
I've heard of like upbeat, but
ALBE. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
Okay. I've heard of that word, but I don't know what it means.
I think it means accept. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to use it a lot because it just sounds like a word that I would not use.
Okay. So, well, here comes the following
pushing my
question.
Comfort zone. Yeah.
What is your least favorite word?
Fuck. Because I use it a lot at places. Whenever I'm nervous at a gig, I start using fucking packer. I don't want to use it.
Okay.
There's no reason for it to be in my set.
Okay.
Yeah.
What turns you on?
What turns me on? When people ask this question, do they always mean it sexually?
No, it's not a sexual question. I put these 3 words here just in case I get an answer like that. I mean in terms of creativity, spiritually, or emotionally.
Okay. What turns me on is when people I'll speak in terms of comedy because we're talking about like when people can say the honest truth in through jokes, right? When you can say what you want to say exactly, but you can also make it funny. I think that's
Okay.
Yeah.
What turns you off?
The reverse of this, when people are being non-authentic, right? Just for the sake, and I've done that myself. I'm
Like
including
fake
myself.
people type thing, yeah.
Fake specifically in comedy, just to trying to get laughs, and you're trying to do things like. Can I give you an example, or is this a short?
Go
one?
for it. Go for it.
I'll give you an example. I won't take any names, but there's a few people who are like of Indian background, but they grew up here, and for easy laughs, they would say shit like they would make fun of their own community. And they would say the most low-hanging fruit, unauthentic shit, like, Indians don't wear deodorants and shit like that, like that. And they would get laughs at that. I feel that's shit. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah. It's cheap.
Yeah, it's cheap. And also like either you identify as Indian, and if you do, then you shouldn't do it. If you don't identify as an Indian because you grew up here, then you definitely shouldn't do it, right? You shouldn't be... It doesn't make sense for you to do it, right?
The one thing I've learned about Indian people whilst living in the Gulf is that they don't take offense quite easily.
No.
I wanted to make a set about I had this Indian guy. I could say anything to him and he wouldn't slap. He wouldn't get angry. Everything, even if I was to insult him, he has this miraculous way of turning it into a compliment. All right, but
that's a unique skill.
But this is the same guy. If he met another Indian that said half of what I said, he would kill him.
Yeah. I was going to say that. I was going to say the context is who is saying it.
Yeah. Right? So like with me, it's like I'm his best friend. But if another Indian said exactly what I said, then that is worse.
That would be a war.
Yeah.
But like Indians in India are known to get offended. Like Indian comedians are having a hard time right now. They're going to jail and shit like that.
Wow.
Indians get offended very easily.
Wow.
But again, it's a context.
Yeah.
If Russell Peters came to India because he's not seen as an Indian person.
Yeah, he'll get away with it.
He'll get away with it.
Yeah. I mean, he's achieved that feat in his comedy. Okay, what is your favorite curse word?
It's an Hindi word. So
Fine, say it.
Benchod. It means we say that a lot, and I think most people who have been introduced to Indian culture have learned this word. It means sister fucker.
Okay, so, that's cool. I like it. What sound or noise do you love?
What sound or I really love 2 noises. One is obviously birds chirping. Because I live on the foothills and I get that every morning and I really love it. And the second one is I don't know if you know. Do you know what azan is? The morning prayer, the Muslim prayer in the morning.
I lived in the Gulf.
Yeah, so I really used to enjoy it. The way it used to be done in India. Now it's gone really loud and it's law. I think they're competing now in India. There's religious war happening right now. It's gone really, but before it used to be like a really soothing sound.
No, I loved hearing the morning prayer. If especially when I lived in the city where you would hear it. When I lived further out, there weren't any mosques there, so I wouldn't hear it there. But
even the Sikh morning prayer, the Sikhs also. It's probably not always early morning, but whenever I can hear, if I'm close to a Sikh temple, there is the prayer is very soothing. Yeah.
Okay. What sound or noise do you hate?
Hate. I just, I want to be honest here. It might be controversial. It's probably not controversial, but it might sound weird that I don't like loud music at all.
That's fine.
Yeah, like just music. Also, music when people are talking, having conversation, and some people like to play music in the background. I can't do that.
Like, you mean if it's too loud?
Even if it's like if I'm going in a car, you know how people get in the car and they turn on the music. I don't.
Okay.
It's me time for me. I never turn on music.
Okay.
And I don't like to have a conversation on top of music playing in the car because it's already such a compact environment. It's so intimate. The noise actually goes... the noise affects you, right? So it's like 2 noises. Like somebody's trying to say something, I'm trying to concentrate on that, and there's music playing in my ears.
Okay.
Maybe it's just me. It's weird, I think.
No, that's right. To each their own.
Yeah.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
What is my profession in this context? Because
you are a comedian / IT man.
Yeah.
But okay, if you weren't either of those,
Yeah.
what would you like to do?
I think I would be doing something with building, like, because I'm a property guy,
Construction?
construction, like
Okay.
building things. I love building things.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Not to build, like, I have a vision, and I would love to for other people, the experts in their own fields, to work together to make my vision come true.
Nice. What profession would you not like to attempt? Would you not like to do?
I don't think there's any profession in this world that I've got that sort of aversion against, that I would never attempt it. I'm open to everything, but maybe politics is not my thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think politics is just a great way to make money.
Yeah.
You know. Now, if heaven exists, final question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You made them laugh.
Nice.
Well done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that's it, man. How did you enjoy this podcast?
Very good, man.
All right, what would
Very
you,
good
if there's
experience.
anything that you want the audience to take away from this conversation, what would you like for them to take away besides the 7-Eleven attacks?
Yeah, come to my show. I feel like I would hope that I came across as authentic, like, because that's what I'm trying to be. Like, I'm not trying to depict an image of me being authentic. I'm trying to be that person. So I hope it came across as. I hope I only said things that I wanted to say sometimes, because sometimes in this whole, pressure of being on camera, because I'm not often on camera, and I don't often get interviewed. I've been interviewed a few times in the last few years because of this whole comedy thing, but not enough. So I don't have that practice. So all of this is just me riffing. So,
One of the reasons why I started this is not just to give comedians like yourself a platform to get more recognized. It's really just I want to know who this person really is.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when you see them on stage, that's a persona.
yeah,
9 times out of 10, it's a
Yeah.
persona.
yeah.
But to get to know the real one, that's why I like to have this show, just to get to know the real you, the real.
Yeah, and I hope that came across, and I hope I haven't said anything stupid that's going to come and bite me in the ass.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think it's great. Well, happy fasting.
Thank you.
All right, and I should do what you do. I should fast for a while as well to shed some more kilos. And I hope in the
Start
future.
today.
Okay. I already had breakfast, but yes, I will. And I hope in the future you'll come back as a returning guest when you're a big star billionaire opening up for Russell Peters, or when Russell Peters opens for you. I want you to think about me when that happens, and I want you to come back here and say you called it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Let's
Deal?
manifest it. Yeah, deal.
All right. Thanks everybody for joining me on the Magic Hour. I've been your host, Majid Nderi. Please follow me again on my Instagram at Fame Film Agency, and click to subscribe to my YouTube at Majid Nderi, and follow Chetan Singh on his Instagram, and check out the 7-Eleven attacks. Much better than my supposed 9/11 ones.
I'm broke, bitch.